and welcome to a new project. It has been a year since my last book character recreation, so I thought it was high time that I chose a new character and created a fun look. One of the reasons I love doing book characters is I get to put my own interpretation on it, especially like last year I did Elise from Ranger's Apprentice. She has very vague descriptions of her outfits in the book, and there's no movie or TV series yet. I'm still crossing my fingers that one will happen, and when it does, can I be Elise please? But it hasn't happened yet, so I got to design and create her look to be whatever I wanted it to be, which was really fun. So the character that I have chosen to do this time has come from a very popular book series. It is the A Court of Thorns and Roses series by Sarah J. Maas. I, like everyone else, have been reading and loving these books, and while I love a lot of the characters from these books, the one that I want to do today is Nesta. So she doesn't really play in the first couple of books. She's there, but she's the sister to the main character and just is mentioned more than is a participant. Whereas this last book is her book. She is the main character of this book. And I was really happy to see her get her own book because I really love her character. Like, she's tough, she's a bit mean in the first couple of books, but she is in order to protect her family, which I can get behind. Now, she does have a couple of outfits that are mentioned in the books. One of them is a ball gown, which I do want to create, but I am saving that for later in the year when I'm going to a fantasy ball and I want to not cosplay as her, but kind of be inspired by her at this fantasy event. So I'm saving that gown for then. What I want to create today is her fighting outfit. So in this world, in the past, there were huge battles and the Valkyries were wiped out in this big final battle. But Nesta and a couple of her friends are training to be the next generation of Valkyrie. And I think that's super cool. I'm also a swords person. That is kind of my background. I've mentioned on here before that I am a stunt performer for film and TV. Swords for me is a big part of why I love stunts. So I really love me a character who is badass, who is training to be a Valkyrie, and can kick butt. I love it. Oh, sorry, I just got nudged by a dog under the table. Yeah, I know, I was talking to myself and you got worried. You were sleeping under the table. You're such a good boy. With all that being said, let me show you what I'm going to use to achieve this look.
So because I am a terrible illustrator and can't draw a garment to save my life, I use Pinterest to help my brain figure out parts to costumes. So these three pictures represent Nesta's outfit to me. I want to create a shirt similar to this one. Kind of like that it's a bit more masculine because Nesta is not necessarily wearing her own clothing when she's doing all this fight training because it's new to her. So she could potentially be wearing other people's discarded clothing, and she is mentioned several times to be wearing leather pants, so I have to give her leather pants, although mine are going to be pleather and stretchy, and I think that's as much as I will do in this video, because if I also tried to do a corset, that would be a very long video because corsets are fiddly little things. So we'll come back to the corset. So to create these two items, I have a couple of patterns that are going to help me get there. Fabric wise, I have this black linen that I got in my op shop haul the other week. I think it will make a nice lightweight shirt and the weight and drape of it will suit the design nicely. And for the leggings, I have this pleather that is stretchy, so it should work to make tight-fitting leggings out of. For the shirt, I'm going to use Simplicity 8704. I'm going to use this option down the bottom here. I don't know if you can see super clearly, but it's got the placket opening that stops halfway down the shirt, and I will shorten the sleeves. For the pants, I'm going to try use Simplicity 8561. So the first thing I'm going to work on is the shirt, which means I need to check that all the pattern pieces are here because this is from the op shop. It is all there, thank goodness. So we can start cutting it out. everything now cut out. This is my front and my back, my shortened sleeve, and my collar and placket. So I think first things first, good old overlocking. Main sections are all overlocked, so my next step is to work on the placket opening in the center front piece. Placket is in, and now I can attach my back and sleeves. This shirt is almost done. It is coming together really quickly. It does look quite big, a little bigger than I expected. The neckline will be gathered into the collar, but the body looks quite large. But the plan is to wear a corset over it, which will cinch it in a bit. So I need to put the collar together, and then all that's left is the hem of the bottom and sleeves.
I've got the shirt basically finished. The only thing that's really left to do is the hemming of the sleeves and bottom. However, I tried it on after I put the collar on and I kind of hate the way it sits. Let me show you. As you can see, it is quite big. It looks a little sack-like. I didn't want it to be super tight fitting. I wanted to be able to slip it on over my head and be good to go. But this is a bit much. The sleeves are a bit too long, but that's kind of on purpose because obviously I shortened the original sleeve pattern and I didn't really know how short I wanted it, so I just chopped off at a random length. But the main thing is this collar area with the gathering. It just doesn't sit right and it gives this weird rounded shape up the top here that's just, it's not a flattering look. So to fix my problems, I do want to take in a bit at the sides because I do want a corset over the top. I don't want too much fabric under the corset because that can look a bit weird. The sleeves and the collar, I think I will fix in one kind of thing. I'm going to take the collar off and try and take out all this gathering because it's the gathering that's causing this weird round shape that I really don't like. But it does mean that there is extra fabric in there that I think I can make it work. I have done the alterations and I have to say it looks so much better now and much more what I wanted it to look like. So I'm glad I took the risk and cut up my garment, which is always a terrifying moment, but it paid off. This is much more the design that I was going for in the first place. So now I can just finish it off. I think I should be able to reuse my same collar. The neckline is a very similar size. It's just not gathered anymore. I need to finish the sleeves off, which I think I'll just overlock them and turn them in. I don't want to lose too much length in them. And then I need to do the bottom hem, and I did also leave some of the side hem open, so from like the hip to the waist I've left open, and it gives the garment a little bit of that medieval tabard type look, which I'm always happy for anything I make to have a medieval vibe. So yeah, we're nearly done. Just a few things left to finish it off, so let's do those. I feel like making this shirt has been a bit of an insight into how I sew. I start with a pattern, I completely throw out what the pattern says to do and make it all up anyway. But doing it this way gives me a good starting point where I don't need to overthink anything, and I learn a lot of how to make something work or how to adjust to be what I want and how to fix something when I've done it wrong. It's a win-win all around, really. My shirt is finished. I am so much happier with how it is now. It is not looking like a sack. It is looking like an actual shirt. So yay! Now I just need to make the rest of the outfit. Welcome to part 2 of my Nesta cosplay. Now it's time to make some leggings for her. In the book she is mentioned to be wearing leather pants. I'm gonna do pleather. I have this massive roll of black pleather, and I think pants will be a lot more comfy if they're made out of stretch pleather as opposed to real leather. Also, I don't have that much real leather to make a whole set of pants out of. That would be expensive and require a lot more careful patterning and gussets and getting the right leather to stretch in the right places. When you work with leather, it gets a lot more complicated. So pleather it is for today. And I'm going to use this pattern, which is Simplicity 8561. This pattern has a couple of different styles, but I'm going to go with style D. I like that it is full length and has pockets. What more could you ask for? All the bits of the jigsaw cut out. Now I've really just got to put it together. The good thing about this sort of fabric is it doesn't fray, so I don't really need to overlock anything. Let's figure out how this goes together. My first step is assembling this panel, which becomes the side panel where the pocket sits. So this is the pocket opening here. I need to finish this with a bit of binding that I cut. And then this will get sewn onto this piece and I have a pocket. My side panels are together, a lovely deep pocket that will absolutely fit my phone, which is the main thing. Now I just need to put the front and back pieces on. I have two legs. They're currently open and flat, but that is because I want to do some top stitching, which isn't in the pattern instructions, but that's okay, we can go off book. I really like how the zigzag stitch looks as a detail on this pocket, so I'm just going to continue it on every seam. And to do this, I'm going to open out my seam allowance and just top stitch the zigzag right in the middle. This will have the bonus effect of pressing my seams without actually pressing my seams, because I don't want to risk putting an iron on this plastic. But once I've got that top stitched, I can turn them into actual legs and attach them. Leggings are coming together. The last things that need to be done is the bottom hem, And also the waistband.
First things first, I'm going to sew the waistband side seams together and top stitch those as well, same as every other seam on these pants.